Your ancestors did not survive wars and famines for you to drink on the weekends and binge watch Netflix. Now, I know that can sound a little harsh, so let me explain, because I used to find myself in this exact same pattern. By the time I was 30 years old, I had no idea what I actually wanted to do with my life. Now, I obviously had a career and a job at that point. I even had 2 advanced degrees, but I wasn't living in my full purpose. And so the job I had at the moment was literally something that I couldn't wait to get to the weekend for. I couldn't wait to go out for a brewery tasting. I couldn't wait to go out for cocktails with my friends. And I couldn't wait to watch my favorite shows on Netflix while unwinding with a bottle of wine. And I didn't realize that this pattern was so ingrained into me existentially not knowing what my purpose was on this planet. Now, the thing is that I had role models growing up that showed me what it looked like to live such a courageous life. My grandmother survived the Warsaw Uprising, where not only was she part of the resistance against the Nazis, but she got bombed, and she already had my infant father at that point. They barely survived. After that, Hitler decided to bomb the entire city of Warsaw. Every single building was detonated, and she lived in that city by herself in the rubble, in basements, literally drinking out of puddles and finding sacks of flour to feed her little child, which was my father. I mean, the odds of her surviving that are unimaginable. At the same time, both of my grandparents were in concentration camps, even though we're not of Jewish heritage. My family knows what it looks like to have incredible struggles and to have barely survived. And my grandmother is one of my biggest role models who raised me with this incredible symbolism of strength and resilience. By the time I was 30 years old, I wasn't showing any of that. In fact, I was often choosing the easiest route of drinking on the weekends and watching Netflix. I was not living in my purpose. Now, here's the thing. Most of us don't actually know what our purposes are. Most of us are not living our heart's desires, and that is totally normal, because the very ancestors that survived for you to be here at this era of time where literally so much is more possible ever than in their lives are the same ancestors who had such strict realities around what was possible in their era that you couldn't just go follow your dreams. I mean, just imagine it. Imagine if you were a woman living 150 years ago. You most likely lived in poverty. You most likely had no autonomy of your own. You had no rights, no equality, no profession. I mean, you were either a farmer or a laborer, or you had to pump out tons of children and hope that your husband didn't beat you. That was literally the reality of so many women living in past generations. There was no modern medicine. There was no schooling. There was just so much of what we have today, the internet, and so much opportunity and airplanes to be able to go anywhere in the world wasn't a reality for our past ancestors. So our ancestors were not given the luxury of deciding what their dreams were, given the luxury of deciding what they really wanted to do. They just had to survive. And that is a defense mechanism that is passed down generation after generation. Until here you are today, like me, you have no idea maybe what you want to do, what your purpose is, what you really want out of life, because you don't ultimately believe you can have it. And that is a defense mechanism that we picked up. And, just think about it. Just go on any random street and ask 10 strangers, do you know what you want most out of life? And most people would stutter and have no idea how to answer you, right? So it's okay when we're not always sure what we want to do. But oftentimes when you remove the things out of your life that are helping you play small, like numbing yourself with alcohol, numbing yourself with TV, numbing yourself with distractions, always going for the easy route, the easy way out, the immediate gratification, you go through a huge spiritual journey and huge spiritual awakening to actually know what you want, who you're meant to be in this lifetime, and why you came to this planet. Because trust me, you came to this planet for a reason. There is a huge purpose that you have. How do I know? You wouldn't be watching this video if you didn't have one. Because first of all, the universe only taps certain people on their shoulder to reevaluate alcohol. Tap, tap. Maybe you don't like how alcohol is playing a role in your life. Maybe you wish you drank less. Maybe you would feel more peace if you're alcohol free. And at first it's so hard to listen to that voice because it scares us into thinking that we're gonna be outcasts and we're gonna lose our favorite pleasures. But truly, that's not what happens. The universe is tapping you on the shoulder for a much bigger reason. Tap, tap. It's tapping you on the shoulder because the universe is hand selecting you to let go of alcohol because of how massive your purpose is on this planet, because of how many people you're able to impact, because of what you're here to do. Now, here's the thing. We live in an era of time where, yes, of course, there's still inequalities, there's still poverty, there's still a lot of world problems, but we can totally argue that our opportunities today are things that our ancestors never had access to. The ability to launch a business from your smartphone is unthinkable in previous eras when you needed connections and you needed a lot of money to start. The idea of being able to reach people from all over the world by filming and going live on an Instagram or something like that is unheard of. You know, so many of the gatekeepers of the past are gone because we can have autonomy to actually do the thing we want to do on our own. That wasn't a thing of the past. You know, think of the days when there were peasants and serfs. Like, you didn't have that kind of autonomy in the past. But today, in our era, I mean, just think of how much is possible. Think of how many opportunities there are. Think of even modern day travel. Everyone loves to complain about delays and turbulence and all this kind of stuff, but you can literally go sit in an airplane and in less than 24 hours be anywhere in the world. Think of how many cultures you can learn about. Think of how many people you can meet. Our ancestors would have died to have that kind of life. You know, my grandmother was not only had to survive through World War II in her adolescence and in her early adulthood, she also had to go through post-war communism and all of the rebuilding that Poland did. There was martial law, there was snooping on your neighbors. It was a really, really dire time. My grandmother didn't have the opportunity to travel the world until she was much older, like in her 80s and 90s, because of the life that she was raised in, the post-communist world. And now we take it for granted that we can travel and we can go anywhere we want to, right? There's so much more opportunity today, and the ancestors that are in your lineage, I don't really have a unique story. Yes, my grandmother survived World War II and my grandparents survived concentration camps, and my grandmother on my mom's side even survived World War I, and there's just crazy stories that I can share. But every one of us has ancestors that survived wars. Every one of us has ancestors that survived famines and depressions and poverty. Every one of us has ancestors that survived a lack of rights, a lack of autonomy, a lack of any economic mobility. We come from literally the most strongest people who survived the hardest times. And you are standing on the shoulder of giants. So my question for you is, what are you going to do with your life? What are you going to do knowing that your ancestors did not survive for you to take it easy, for you to numb out with TV and drinking? Your ancestors survived so you can do something so great with your life, something that will impact so many people and help heal the world. That is my deeper why. That is what wakes me up every day, even when I don't feel like it, even when I don't want to be consistent, even when I don't want to share my message with the world. I've even anchored it into a rock that I look into every day. It's a crystal my late grandmother left me. I hope that this inspired you to think about the opportunities you have in front of you in a different way, and recognize that if you have decided to eliminate or reduce the amount of alcohol in your life, you've already been tapped on the shoulder by the universe, telling you how huge your purpose is. Your ancestors have already been paving the way for you to live the life that they would have dreamed for. Now go do something amazing with it. If you like this video, please share a like. Please do subscribe so you never miss more videos about the alcohol-free lifestyle, purpose, entrepreneurship, how many cool things we can do as women today. And I'd love to hear from you. If you have ancestors that survived really bad hardships, please do share in the comments. I would love to hear from you, and I'll see you in the next video.